Hello. So we've decided that this week we're going to be talking about mental illness and stigma. Hopefully there will be some sort of a feminist perspective that gets drawn into this today, but it may end up being more just sort of general thoughts and feelings on the topic. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so I guess mostly what I want to talk about is stigma, but obviously they're very combined. It's stigma, as I see it, basically is sort of the collection of prejudices and stereotypes. What's the other word I'm looking for? Misconceptions we have surrounding, we sort of as a general society, not everyone, but just a lot of people have surrounding mental illness. And so I think it manifests in a lot of ways. It manifests in the belief that people who have mental illnesses or having mental health problems are weak, or they're unstable or dangerous, that it's something that they can just snap out of, that it's not a real illness, that they're overreacting, things like that. So that is the sort of textbook definition kind of thing of what stigma means, but sort of on a more real and personal level, stigma is the reason that I am absolutely terrified to sit here in front of this camera and say that I struggle with depression. So, and I think I'm so scared to say that because of stigma and because of the things that I'm afraid that you'll think of me when you know that. I'm afraid that you'll think I'm weak. I'm afraid that you'll think I'm less capable. I'm afraid that you will judge me. I'm afraid that you will think that I'm looking for pity. Yeah. There are a lot of things that are dangerous about stigma, obviously. There are a lot of really negative consequences to it, but I think a lot of them can sort of be grouped under the fact that I think stigma makes it really hard for us to talk about mental health. It makes it just a hard and slightly taboo subject to bring up, but it also makes it really hard for people who are affected by these problems to be open about them and to talk about them, and that causes a lot of problems. I think the two sort of major ones, or maybe three, 2 or 3, I don't know, we'll see, that I see with that is that one, the stigma, this fear of talking about it, and this sort of generalized societal fear, makes it really hard, I think, to seek out help, if you're concerned about yourself. Partially about not wanting to admit to yourself that there's this problem because it's seen as really taboo and really bad, or then not wanting to have to disclose to people, because I mean, especially if you're a younger person, seeking help is probably going to involve telling someone like your parents, and that's really hard, because of all this taboo and these fears and these misconceptions that we have set up around mental illness. At best, I guess that just means people will suffer in silence, but at worst, it can have really disastrous consequences, like suicide and things. And then I think another thing that sort of plays off that, I guess, is that I think that this fact that we don't talk about it very much as a society, people who are affected by it are afraid to talk about it, and we're just afraid to talk about it in general, it means that people end up feeling really alone, I think. It's a really, really widespread problem. It's just not something that we talk about. It's not something that we feel like it's okay to talk about. And then so I think it's easy for people to feel like they're very alone and that they're the only one that this is happening to, which is really dangerous. Whereas if we can talk about it more openly, then you realize that you're not alone, and that this is something that other people are going through, and that it's sort of I think I was talking about when I made that video about body image a little while ago, it was talking about that sort of like Me Too moment, and I think that that's something that's very powerful surrounding mental illness. Well, like disordered eating and things like that is a mental illness. So same sort of thing. But anyways, yeah, just in general, I think that that's really powerful, and the fact that there is all this stigma and there's all this fear makes it really hard to have that. I think sort of like the third thing is just because there's not a lot of information about it. So I think we have a lot of misconceptions surrounding mental illness and what mental illness is, and so I think it's harder to recognize it in yourself maybe. I know a really big struggle for me with deciding to get help was that I didn't know if it was bad enough. I was like, yeah, I'm sad a lot, but like I'm not, like I can get out of bed in the morning, I can sort of function and stuff, so like it's probably not that bad, right? I don't need to, like, you get these ideas that are flawed. And I think a friend of mine actually, this was the first person that I talked to about this, introduced something that was really important for me to hear, was the concept of like, she's like, you're just going in for a checkup. Like you're worried, so you're just gonna go in for a checkup. It doesn't mean that there necessarily is something wrong. It's not like you're necessarily self-diagnosing or whatever. It's just a checkup, like you go in for any other checkup. And I think that's a really good way to conceptualize it, because it's not like like you're having a little bit of trouble breathing. You're not gonna wait until you're coughing up blood to go to the doctor. You're gonna go when you're having a little bit of trouble breathing. I think that we should be treating mental health the same way, but I think in a lot of ways that we don't. So definitely just reducing stigma is something that I think is really important, and I think is something that we really need to work on together as a society to do. And I think like really the only way to do it is to talk about things more, to talk about them, to normalize them, and to get correct information out there. And so I guess that's sort of like what I'm trying to do today, is just talking about things, saying, yeah, it's a thing, it's a thing that affects me, but it's not who I am. The reason I guess I'm doing this is because there's why I'm doing this, and I'm not just making a video about what I think about mental health without sort of telling you about myself, is because I think that this is a really important thing to talk about, to get people's stories out there, and to let people know that this isn't something that should be taboo, and it's also not something that's rare, which I think is both something that just we need to know as a general population, like the overarching effect of it, how many people are affected, and I think is really important for people who are out there who are having struggles themselves and think that they're alone, because you're not alone. That's a thing. So yes, basically stigma, sucky, shitty, don't like it. Let's get rid of that. So that's what I think. I think that we need to learn about things, and we need to talk about things more, and I would really like that, and so that's why I wanted to try and do this. And I thank you for watching this. It's probably gonna end up being super long. I apologize. And so I hope that you have a lovely week. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good day. Give someone a hug. Yeah. Alright, I'll see you on Thursday, Rico.